Hello everyone, today we are unboxing a completely new ALLPOWERS R2500 second generation portable power station. It has only recently been released for sale, and of course it has some differences compared with the first generation model. But first, let us take a look at how it arrives, how it is packaged, what the power station itself looks like, what is included in the package, and of course its design and specifications. We will also carry out various tests using household appliances, construction power tools, and a solar panel. Power station arrives in this branded cardboard box. The box features an image of the power station itself. The power station is quite heavy, so there are these plastic handles on both sides, making it easier to move. I am opening the box, and on top we have the charging cable. By the way, I would like to point out that this cable is quite thick and feels high quality compared with many other power stations. Here is a sheet with some information, and here is a battery safety guide. There is also the manual for this R2500 second generation model. It is quite informative and is available in several languages. Next, we have this very thick and dense foam for protection during transportation. This is important because we all know how some products are delivered, and this is electronic equipment. Special corner protectors are installed inside the box. Inside we have the power station, and underneath it there is another layer of similar foam to protect the body of the unit. There are also moisture-absorbing packets. Power station is relatively compact, but it has quite a significant weight. Let us check exactly how much it weighs. 24.5 kilograms. The power station has a shape that resembles a cube. Because of this, there is a large and flat surface on top. This allows us to place various things here, for example, a laptop, a phone, or something else. Here is a real example. I was outdoors and needed to work on my computer, but there was no suitable surface where I could put my laptop, and putting it on the ground is not a good option, so I can simply put the laptop on top of the power station, connect it to the power station, and work in comfortable conditions. At the same time, dirt or insects cannot get into the computer from underneath, and the ventilation can work properly. Now let us take a look at the exterior of the power station. On the right side, there is this two-color ventilation grill. Below it, there is a cover. Inside, there is a compartment with two connectors for additional batteries. Using these connectors, we can expand the total capacity up to 20 kilowatt hours. Additional batteries are available for purchase in the official ALLPOWERS store. We can buy them when necessary, connect them to these ports, and use the expanded capacity. Everything is very simple here. On the back, QR code, information about the model, and the general specifications of the power station. On the left side, there is another two-color ventilation grill, and there is another cover, just like on the right side. But behind this cover, we find much more interesting connectors. Here is the connector for connecting the power station to a household electrical outlet for charging. I plugged the included cable into this connector with one end, and the other end goes into a wall outlet. That is it. The power station is charging. This element looks like a button, but it is actually a circuit breaker. And here we have an XT60 connector for connecting solar panels. Through this port, the power station can accept up to 1,000 watts from solar panels. That is a huge amount of available input power, and we are unlikely to ever use the full 1,000 watts. Along with the power station, I also received an ALLPOWERS SP037 solar panel, so I will demonstrate both the connection and the testing under real-world conditions. We will test both the power station and the solar panel. Now let us also take a look at the bottom. As expected, there are simply rubberized feet here. And now we come to the main front panel. It has a large number of connectors. In the center, there is the power button for turning the unit on and off. On the left, there is a block with USB ports. There are two USB Type-C ports. Each one has an output power of 100 watts. And there are two separate rubber covers. Under these covers, we find the classic USB Type-A connectors. Two of them have an output power of 18 watts each, and another two have an output power of 12 watts each. As far as I understand, all of these ports are covered with protective caps to prevent moisture from getting inside. On the right, there is a car cigarette lighter socket with an output of 120 watts, and below it, there are 12-volt direct current connectors rated at 10 amps. The maximum output is 120 watts. And here we have 4 classic 230-volt alternating current outlets. They are also protected by covers. They provide a pure sine wave. The total continuous output is 2,500 watts, and the peak power is 5,000 watts. Each group of outlets can be controlled using its corresponding button. The group that is not being used can be switched off. The display shows all the necessary information. We can see the current battery charge level as a percentage. We can see how much energy is coming in and how much energy is being consumed at the moment. We can also see how much operating time remains. This value changes depending on the load. Additional icons can also appear on the display. They indicate different operating conditions of the device. Now we are going to test the power station. We will see how it works, how it charges, how much power it consumes, and where it can be used. Where is the best place to buy the power station? I will tell you based on my own experience. The power station is available at the best price on the official website. I will leave the link in the description below the video, and be sure to use the 10% discount code. I will also add this discount code below the video. You will be able to get the power station for less than the market price. Plus, you can be sure that it is an original product. It comes with a warranty, and it will have a fresh battery. Now, as for the solar panel, I only have experience using a regular solar panel. We installed it on our self-built camper van, and we are still successfully using it today. So I will be making a partial comparison specifically with that panel, especially since they have almost the same power output. The portable ALLPOWERS SP037 solar panel arrived in this kind of packaging. What is very interesting is that there are actually 2 boxes here, one inside the other. This minimizes the risk of the panel being damaged during transportation. The inner packaging features the manufacturer's logo and some general information. We can see that the panel is inside a carrying bag, and between the bag and the box, there is a layer of protective foam material on all sides. The bag looks very high quality. It is made of a durable material that most likely also provides water resistance. At the very least, rain should definitely not be a problem for it. If you take a closer look, even the zippers are protected against moisture. After all, this panel is designed to be used in unpredictable outdoor conditions. There is a large pocket on the side. Inside it, we have the user manual. There are also carabiners for securing the panel. In one of the bags, there is a cable with a DC 5525 connector on one end. It also has a DC 8020 adapter and an MC4 connector on the other end. There is also a second cable. It has an XT60 connector on one end and an MC4 connector on the other. And here we have the cables coming directly from the solar panel. These are the connectors we will be connecting to. I checked the manual, and indeed the solar panel has an IP67 protection rating. This means that the device is fully protected against dust and moisture, and it can be used in unfavorable weather conditions. There is also a convenient rubber handle for carrying the panel. The panel weighs 13.5 kilograms. The bag is 94 centimeters wide and 60 centimeters high. On the back side, the panel has 2 clips, and there is also a fold-out leg. We can use it to support this section. The panel unfolds like this. The unfolding process is very simple. When fully unfolded, the panel measures 236 centimeters by 94 centimeters, and it consists of 4 modules. Each module has special loops for additional securing. It is worth noting that the panels are not rigid. They have a certain degree of flexibility. I am connecting the portable ALLPOWERS R2500 second-generation power station to the solar panel. I am using the cable that came with the solar panel. As soon as I connected it, the power station immediately started charging. But I decided to move to a more open area. This will allow us to take measurements under real-world conditions. With the solar panel placed on its legs and with a sky that is not perfectly clear, we are getting 290 watts. The results pleasantly surprised me. The rated maximum power of this panel is 400 watts. Our stationary solar panel installed on the roof of the camper van is rated at 420 watts. And under the same conditions, the portable solar panel is showing excellent results. Perhaps the panel on the roof does not have the correct angle, and this portable panel is also not positioned perfectly. The sections have a certain amount of curvature, as you can see. I have another idea. I will also test the solar panel simply by placing it horizontally on the ground. Now the solar panel is positioned horizontally on the grass. I did not try to position it toward the sun. In this less than ideal position, we are getting 230 watts, and this is quite a good result, especially considering that the panel is positioned completely arbitrarily. Of course, if we place the solar panel on its legs at an angle, we get a significantly higher output. That is because the solar panel is facing toward the sun. Considering that I did not choose the perfect angle relative to the sun, I was able to get up to 330 watts from the panel when it was positioned at an angle. I think that if we set the angle more precisely, we could get even more. The portable panel is showing excellent results when paired with this power station. The power station even has a considerable amount of additional capacity available. In other words, we can connect solar panels with an even higher total power output here. When buying a power station, however, you should pay attention to the specifications of this connector. Some smaller models from other brands have limitations on this connector, and in that case, the solar panel will not be able to deliver its maximum output. Instead, it will be limited by the input capabilities of the portable power station. This panel can be purchased separately, or it can be purchased as a bundle with the portable power station. The bundle may even be cheaper. You need to visit the website and check the current price. And the 10% discount code that I have added below the video also works for the power station and solar panel bundle. Yes, perhaps someone will say that you can simply buy a stationary solar panel and that it would be more cost-effective, just like the one we've installed on our roof. But you understand that you cannot transport a panel like that in your hands, and you certainly cannot conveniently transport it in a regular passenger car. It is not convenient, it is vulnerable to damage. This one, on the other hand, can be folded up. We can take it with us anywhere, and we can use it wherever we want. It is protected against damage, it is designed for transportation, and it does not take up much space. We can fold the panel up in just a few seconds and take it with us on the road. We used to travel by passenger car, and a solar panel like this could have covered all of our electricity needs. It would have significantly increased our comfort. On a sunny day, a panel like this can generate around 3 kilowatt hours of energy. That would be enough to charge 1.5 power stations like this one. But as our experience with camping in the wilderness shows, even in cloudy weather, a solar panel can quite easily cover all of our electricity needs. As for the portable power station, it is also quite convenient to transport. It offers a good balance between capacity and weight. We have 2 kilowatt hours of capacity. Inside, there is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It has a lifespan of more than 3,500 cycles. This means that even if we use the power station every day for 10 years, we should not experience any noticeable loss of capacity, and even after 10 years, the power station can still be used. The capacity will simply be around 10 to 20% lower. Considering the 2 kilowatt-hour capacity and the 2,500 watt output capability, it can be used as the main power source in a camper van. This includes an electric kettle, a refrigerator, laptops, lighting, pumps, and fans. Similarly, it can be used as backup power for a house during a power outage. It can also be used for construction work. You can connect a drill, a jigsaw, a circular saw, and many other power tools. It can also be used at a country house or a cottage if there is no electricity or if the available power is insufficient. There are plenty of possible applications. Connecting the power station to the application is very simple. We use the camera on our phone to scan the QR code and install the application. Now press and hold this button for 3 seconds. The corresponding icon will appear on the screen. And now we add the device. We can see the power station's battery level as a percentage, and we can see how many hours of operation the battery has remaining. Here we can see the input and output current. At the moment, nothing is connected. We can control the groups of alternating current outlets. We can do this either through the application or using the control panel on the power station, like this. We can also change the frequency depending on the country we are in. We press the 3 dots. Here we can see the version of our power station. We can change the operating mode of the power station. We can choose how many hours should pass before the power station switches to eco mode. And here is the switch for this mode. There is also information about the power station. Now let us move on to practical testing. First, a microwave oven rated at 1050 watts. At maximum power, the power station will run it for 1 hour and 15 minutes. The microwave consumes 1150 watts. Next, an electric kettle rated at 2150 watts. In this mode, it will run for 47 minutes. It consumes 1815 watts. I would like to point out something interesting. When the power consumption was around 1 kilowatt, the power station was quiet. But when we switched on the electric kettle, which consumes around 2 kilowatts, the fans turned on. They started cooling the internal components. Next, a Philips hairdryer rated at 2100 watts. The hairdryer consumes 1800 watts. In this mode, the power station will run it for 45 minutes. The power station once again turned on the fans for cooling. Now let us charge a phone using USB. During charging, it consumes 10 watts. In this mode, it can operate for 3 days and 3 hours. At this point, the battery is at 79% charge. Next, an HP Victus 15-inch laptop. Its power consumption is 120 watts. With no additional load, it consumes 65 watts. And in this mode, it can power our laptop for 14 hours and 15 minutes. This is based on the current battery level of the power station. Follow the link below and see how we are building a camper van and living in it completely off-grid. All thanks to a power station like this one, together with a solar panel. See you in the next videos.